Ever wonder why your neighbor's house looks like a castle and yours looks like a box? In 15 minutes, I'm going to show you the styles that shaped American neighborhoods. English post-medieval. The English, in the earliest days of the colonies, English settlers in New England built homes with steeply pitched roofs, small windows, and central chimneys to withstand the brutal winters. Timber frames, wattle and daub were the materials on hand, resulting in rustic dwellings focused on basic survival rather than decorative flourishes. Very few remain today, but historic pockets in Massachusetts and Connecticut preserve these relics of America's first domestic architecture. Dutch Colonial. Dutch settlers in New York and New Jersey introduced gambrel roofs, which added useful attic space and effectively shed rain and snow. Thick brick or stone walls and exposed beams defined these sturdy houses. Though first constructed in the 1600s, Dutch Colonial saw a revival in the early 1900s. Its signature barn-like rooflines spread throughout the Northeast and the Midwest, where they are still a familiar sight. Spanish colonials in places like Florida, Texas, California, and the Southwest. Spanish settlers adopted old world traditions to hot, arid climates. Thick adobe or stucco walls helped insulate against heat, while small windows reduced direct sun. Red tile roofs and central courtyards reflected Mediterranean and Moorish influences, offering shade and airflow. The legacy of these mission-inspired buildings is particularly visible in California's architecture today. French colonial settlers in Louisiana and along the mighty Mississippi River contended with swampy terrain and frequent flooding. So they built raised foundations or piers, wraparound porches, hipped roofs, and tall French doors allowed for cool breezes in humid weather. Surviving examples in New Orleans showcase the style's European charm, combined with practical solutions for a subtropical climate. Georgian homes. Georgian, named for the reigns of King George I through III. Georgian design prioritized symmetry, proportion, and a sense of formality. Brick facades, paneled doors, capped by transom windows, and decorative crown moldings lent these homes an air of refinement. Popular among the wealthy colonists, Georgian later influenced the Colonial Revival movement, cementing its place as a touchstone in American architectural history. Federal is an evolution of Georgian. The Federal style took on a lighter, more delicate aspect. Elliptical fanlights above doors, slender columns, and decorative swags of urns reflected ancient Roman and Greek ideals. Seen in port cities like Boston and Philadelphia, and then the new capital of Washington, D.C., Federal signaled America's cultural ambitions and its confidence in a budding national identity. Greek Revival motivated by admiration for classical democracy, Americans widely embraced Greek Revival. Front facades resembled ancient temples, complete with large columns, triangular pediments, and bold entablatures. Symmetry and simplicity projected civic virtue and strength. The style spread across the nation, shaping southern plantation homes, Midwestern government buildings, and everything in between. Gothic Revival and a shift from classical models. Gothic Revival reached back to medieval Europe for inspiration. Steep gables, pointed arches, and ornate wooden trim created a dramatic fairy tale look. Decorative elements like finales and stained glass windows enhanced the romantic atmosphere. Particularly popular in the Northeast and the Midwest, Gothic Revival offered a spirited contrast to the neoclassical architecture that preceded it. Italiante inspired by the country villas of Italy. Italiante dwellings feature tall, narrow windows, often arched topped by decorative crowns, overhanging eaves supported by large brackets, and the occasional rooftop cupola underscored the style's rustic elegance. Growing American cities like Cincinnati and Chicago embraced the Italiante style for its combination of sophistication and adaptability, helping it become one of the most common 19th century styles. Stick style. Stick style is a transitional Victorian era mode. Stick style emphasized the home's wooden framework by applying vertical, horizontal, or diagonal boards onto exterior walls for decoration. Gabled roofs, overhanging eaves, and exposed trusses further accented the structure beneath the surface. Though less ornate than the Victorian designs, stick style helped pave the way for more exuberant shingle and Queen Anne movements. Second Empire homes. Second Empire recognized by its mansard roof, an idea borrowed from France's Second Empire. This style freed up additional living space in the attic. Facades were elaborately decorated with iron cresting, dormer windows, and ornate brackets. Popular in urban centers like New Orleans and New York, Second Empire lent a distinctly Parisian sophistication to the American streetscape. Shingle. Shingle-style homes mostly found along the coastal northeast. Shingle-style offered a more subdued Victorian look, wrapping homes in a continuous wood shingle that smoothed out corners and seams. These sprawling, often asymmetrical residences favored open floor plans, porches, and an informal relationship with the landscape. The emphasis on flowing exterior surfaces created an organic, beachy vibe that contrasted with the fussier and more ornamental times of the period. Queen Anne, epitomizing Victorian opulence. Queen Anne went all in on asymmetry with turrets, towers, and wide porches dominating the facade. Decorative spindles, fish scale shingles, and stained glass windows enhanced the visual complexity. Bold paint schemes highlighted each architectural flourish. San Francisco's, quote, painted ladies, close quote, stand as an iconic reminder of the Queen Anne passion for maximal detail and flair. My name is Eli Magids, and if you're serious about moving anywhere in the country, I know the top agents nationwide, and I can connect you with them. Just call me, text me, or send me an email, and I would love to give you a referral to the best there is in this country. And if Charlotte's on your radar, that's my backyard. I specialize in luxury homes, new construction homes, and custom builds. Just call or text me, and I'll help you get whatever you want. Mission Revival. The Mission Revival is rooted in nostalgia for California's Spanish missions. Mission Revival adopted stucco walls, red tile roofs, and arches reminiscent of mission archways. Curved parapets, bell towers, and courtyard-centered layouts carried the theme further. It was popular in warm, dry climates. Mission Revival was well suited to the southwestern states, where thick walls and shaded porches kept the indoor spaces cool. Tudor Revival. The Tudor Revival is a romantic glance back to medieval England. Tudor Revival played with half timbering, steeply pitched roofs, and large chimneys. Brick or stone lower floors contrasted with the stucco and the timber upper sections. Leaded glass windows, wooden beams, and ornate fireplaces completed the storybook feel. Particularly favored in the Northeast and the Midwest, Tudor Revivals offered a fairy tale twist on suburban living. Craftsman. Craftsman style. Evolving from the British arts and crafts movement, the American Craftsman style stressed simplicity, handcrafted details, and natural materials. Low-pitched roofs with wide eaves, tapered porch columns, and visible rafters embodied its honest aesthetic. Interiors often included built-in cabinetry, fireplaces, and thoughtful woodwork. Bungalows gained enormous popularity nationwide, celebrating artistry in an increasingly industrial age. The Prairie style. The Prairie, though short-lived as a formal movement, Prairie style forever influenced American design. Frank Lloyd Wright's emphasis on horizontal lines, low-pitched roofs, and open floor plans fostered harmony between house and landscape. Rows of casement windows and sheltered porches reinforced a sense of expansiveness. Abandoning excessive ornament, Praire architects forged a distinctly American approach that anticipated modernist ideals. Mediterranean Revival. Mediterranean Revival is combining Spanish, Italian, and Moorish motifs. Mediterranean Revival introduced red tile roofs, arched openings, and ornamental ironwork as hallmarks of coastal luxury. Courtyards and verandas blurred indoor and outdoor boundaries. Pastel and stucco exteriors brought sun-soaked charm, especially in glamorous locales like Miami or Beverly Hills, where the look of the Mediterranean villas matched the lifestyle of leisure and resort living. Art Deco, capturing the roaring 20s, embrace of progress. Art Deco highlighted geometric shapes, ornamentation, and materials like chrome or glass block. While most famously associated with skyscrapers, the style filtered into residential design, especially in places like Miami Beach. Rounded corners, bold colors, zigzag or sunburst patterns created a streamlined, futuristic appearance that echoed machine age optimism. International style. The International was developed by European modernists like Corbusier and Mies van der Rohe. The International style prized functional purity. Flat roofs, open floor plans, white surfaces, and the absence of ornaments defined its minimalistic approach. Large expanses of glass and an emphasis on rectilinear forms gave these buildings a light, geometric clarity. Spreading globally, the style found a foothold in American cities, including a stark alternative to traditional decoration. The Streamline House, Streamline Modern, an offshoot of Art Deco's fascination with modernity. Is that a word? Modernity? Streamline Modern softened the sharp angles into sleek curves inspired by ocean liners. Ribbon windows, rounded corners, and horizontal banding suggested speed and efficiency. The style emerged during the Great Depression, balancing affordability with a hopeful nod toward a streamlined, technological future, make it appealing for both private homes and public building. Hollywood Regency homes. Glamour ruled in Hollywood Regency, which merged simple, modern silhouettes with over-the-top decorative elements. Mirrored panels, glossy finishes, and theatrical flourishes drew on the Art Deco style and the neoclassical and global styles as well. The result was an unapologetically luxurious, often seen in the hills of Los Angeles, where film stars desired homes as dramatic as the silver screen sets that made them famous. Ranch homes. With post-World War II suburbia booming, ranch houses answered the demand for casual, family-friendly living. Single-story layouts, open interiors, and attached garages fit perfectly into the car-centric lifestyle. Large picture windows and sliding glass doors to patios encouraged indoor and outdoor flow. The long, low-slung profile spoke to the wide-open spaces of the American West, making the ranch style synonymous with mid-century suburban growth. Mid-century modern is embracing minimal ornamentation and innovative materials. Architects such as Richard Neutra helped define mid-century modern. Steel frames, massive glass panels, and open concept interiors blurred the line between nature and shelter. Flat or gently pitched roofs completed the understated geometry. Popular in California and beyond, these homes captured the post-war optimism that saw technology as a path to better living. The Brutalist form. Contrasting with the airy openness of the mid-century modern, Brutalist architecture prioritized raw concrete and monumental forms. Though more common in institutional buildings, occasional residential projects embodied an austere, fortress-like solidity. The style deliberately minimized ornamentation, arguing that a building's materials and structure should speak for themselves. Critics found it heavy and uninviting, but admirers praised its honesty and boldness. Postmodern. Postmodern is pushing back against modernism's austere functionalism. Postmodern architecture reintroduced historical references with playful irony. Classical columns, arches, and decorative details reappeared, but in unexpected ways or exaggerated proportions. Vivid colors and whimsical shapes invited complexity back into design. In residential settings, postmodern houses might sport a collage of styles or satirical riffs on tradition, balancing nostalgia with futuristic flair. The famous McMansion, the McMansions, as suburbs continued to grow. Large-scale homes that blended elements of Colonial, Tudor, Mediterranean gained traction. Dubbed the McMansion, these often featured multi-gabled roofs, towering foyers, and expansive floor plans. Critics lamented their eclectic jumble of references and supersized footprints, but they appealed to buyers seeking space, status, and recognizable historic detail. They became the go-to symbol of the late 20th century suburban affluence, very popular here in Charlotte. Modern farmhouse, also popular. Modern farmhouse, merging the barn-inspired features, white board and batten siding, metal roofs, black frame windows with minimalist finishes. Modern farmhouse rose to prominence in the era of Instagram and TV renovation shows. Thank you, HGTV. Reclaimed wood accents and farmhouse sinks evoke rustic charm, while open concept layouts and sleek lighting keep it current. This style's widespread popularity shows that Americans still love reinventing their architectural heritage, blending comfort, nostalgia, and modern tastes. Thank you so much for watching this video. If there's any styles I missed, let me know below in the comments. Thank you for watching, and until we see each other again next time.